This is season 4 of Whatever She's Having with Linda Hoffner and
Claire Suma Diwaria.
And we're here to talk about being fearless, showing up for ourselves, and being a champion for other women's success. This podcast is proudly presented by 425 Magazine, our new partner. We are thrilled about this partnership and the magazine's belief in us as individuals, as a duo, and our message of empowering friendships. Thank you, 425 Magazine.
We also want to give a big shout out to our season 4 sponsor, the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, for partnering with us to bring you this episode. Strong Women, Strong Communities. The Spanish Chamber of Commerce is hosting the Power Her Woman Conference on May 15th at the Plateau Club. Connect, learn, and be inspired by powerhouse speakers including Linda and me. Don't miss this chance to grow and thrive. Register now at SpanishChamber.org under the Events tab. Okay, we are so excited to have one of our favorite friends and Leadership Eastside classmates with us today. Dietra Clayton is a woman who gives joy, comfort, and support to so many women in our community. A woman who has dedicated her life to the social service industry. Dietra is an incredible managing ED of the Sophia Way, Bellevue shelter dedicated to supporting women on their journey from homelessness to safe and stable living. Dietra, thank you for being here and coming out to a podcast.
Thank you.
We've been waiting to highlight incredible work for some time now, and we are so glad and make out to be here. Do you want to tell us about your journey in social services and what led you to your role at the Sophia's Way?
Sure. First of all, thank you both for having me. It's amazing to be around incredible women and be able to speak to that. I wouldn't be able to do that without the community, and you all are a part of that. So thank you both very much, and I love you guys.
We love you too. We're so happy you're here.
So this is really amazing. So I've been in social services my whole adult working career, and it actually started because my sister has cerebral palsy and epilepsy, which means that she's wheelchair bound and wasn't able to make a lot of choices or do a lot of things. She currently lives in a group home in Arizona, very, very, very disabled, and really living confined, right? And with that said, I also grew up in an area that was predominantly Caucasian. My mom started Black History Month at my school. So
really?
Yes, she
She's
started
amazing.
Black History.
Local in Washington?
No, in Arizona.
Okay.
Well, no, Washington's already, Washington's progressive. I'm not from here.
That's why I was shocked.
Right? Like, no.
I was like, what state is that?
Yeah, Arizona. So I actually, so from that, right, like seeing my mom do this advocacy and also leaning into what was uncomfortable and also having me kind of lean into that. And you would imagine growing up that way, that very Afrocentric and a very Caucasian and very racist place was really interesting, but seeing her fight and wanting to provide a voice was really amazing and inspiring to me. It's also my sister, her inability to have a voice, the way that people treated her. It meant that whenever I was going to look for work or do something, I've always wanted to do something to give back. I've always wanted to provide a voice. I've always wanted to be a champion for people that maybe people didn't necessarily expect or think of in different ways. So for instance, for my sister, it wasn't like a champion for her treatment, but a champion for acceptance, right? Like people shouldn't be gawking and staring at her as we're rolling down the street, etc. So from a young age, it was like, what can I do because I have ability. I can talk, I can walk. I don't have compromised, well, depending on who you're talking to. I don't have like a compromised baseline, right? Yeah. And so that started me out. My first job was teaching safe sex and HIV awareness to predominantly trans youth. I've worked with boy sex offenders from the age of 7 to 17. So really being able to put yourself in a place of space to truly meet somewhere we're at, regardless of what egregious things have happened, was really transformative for me. And I've also spent some time in mental health. My other transformative job was NAVOS, and I worked involuntary psychiatric for 5 years. And so again, being able to really meet people where they're at while championing, while advocating, led me to Sophia Way. I came there as just like a part-time, honestly, like, let me check this out and see what's happening with it. I like helping women. I was at Transitional Resources, and when I got there, I saw this incredible opportunity to take this place that really had been doing some services and turn it into a social service agency, to turn it into a place that had the programming along with the ability to really raise the staff up alongside, and I jumped in. And so I've been there 7 years. I started on call from being a case manager to some director work to shared leadership to now. And I will say that it's been amazing. It's been really amazing. And again, like we went from, 8 mats on the ground, and we've been around 15 years to now 2 24/7 locations that serve women that are experiencing homelessness. And there's not barriers. You just have to come in and say that you're a woman experiencing homelessness. So I love that. And then I do a bunch of other random stuff, but we don't need to talk about it.
Well, thank you for doing
It's
that.
so amazing.
It matters.
And,
yes.
I think I shared with you previously that, I had a family member who was at Navos, where your former place of employment, and got to see firsthand during my visits to go see them there, like the incredible amount of work that is done there to keep those folks with, who are living through or with a mental health crisis, to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And often from themselves, right?
A lot of the time.
It's really incredible. I had never seen anything like that before. And, as a person who's on the outside and visiting a family member who's there, it's a little alarming at first, right? To walk into these facilities and kind of puts you in check of the privilege that I have to be living in this body and in not only in my physically able body, but in my Caucasian body, and seeing how different life is for so many people. So when you first told me that you worked there, it just struck a chord with me because I had, I have family who have needed those services, right? Yeah. And then transitioning to the Sophia way, and I'm so grateful to get to be a part of that and serve on the development committee there, because it's just such a wonderful organization, and Claire works very closely with you guys too. So first and foremost, thank you for what you're doing for the community, because it really couldn't function without those kinds of needs it met, the basic needs, right?
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you
And
saying that.
And I love like Linda saying that, because a lot of people, when they think about nonprofit like client living experience, they only define the people who's going through the living experience, right? But it's the allies who's like surrounding them, supporting them. Also, the degree of living experience matters too. Because without supporters like Linda and other allies in the community, we were never able to support the individuals who are going through that by themselves, right? We cannot like just be there by ourselves. So like, thank you. Like that's a really cool. Like that's why this is great community.
I appreciate you saying that. I recently did an event for Homeless Remembrance Day. And one of my thank you all. These guys are champions. These ladies are champions, folks, whatever you want to use. But what I would say is like the part that I wanted really elevated is a lot of times people don't realize the people that are doing the direct service are walking alongside at every moment. And sometimes that means that I myself have made funeral arrangements. I myself have been the last one to see someone take their last breath. And I think that the community forgets that sometimes the people that we're serving, we are their family. And so we have to treat them accordingly, right? We have to be aware that it's not them choosing, it's what happened and how can we move forward. So I really appreciate you saying that.
And oftentimes, again, from my own experience, this family member didn't even recognize me as her family in that moment that she was going through her crisis. And the people in the shelter at Navos were her family. And in going through that from the outside was like, what do you mean? I'm your daughter, you know, and they couldn't even recognize me, right? Or I'm your family, or and I know that that's often true for a lot of people that they lean into the caretakers. So on that topic of caretaking, you and I actually got to spend a lot of precious time together during Leadership Eastside, because we had the joy of being on the same campaign team together. And one thing that I think always really impressed me with you is that you had a lot of intentionality with your boundaries.
Yes.
And you were very clear about what you could do and what you couldn't do, what events you could make, what you couldn't be at. And in a field as demanding as social services, boundaries are particularly important.
100%.
And so I'd love for you to talk about like how do you practice that? How did you get to that point where you could really be intentional about boundaries?
So I will say it's really nice to hear that.
I'm jealous of your boundary making.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know boundaries.
Okay, I will say it feels really nice to do that. I do. So I'm really good. So there are multiple types of self-care, and whoever is listening to this, please look at that. It's physical,
Yes.
it's emotional, it's financial, it's work, it's your actual space. So there's so much that actually goes into knowing what self-care is. I am particularly good at setting boundaries when it comes to social and work, because this work is all consuming. It is very hard to get up, look at a contract, also maybe have to deal with a very intense client situation, and then be a mom, and then be a person, that's experienced a lot of hardship, then be a person of color. That is all a lot. So I really do appreciate that the internal work I'm doing.
Girl, I see you.
Thank you. I appreciate that being external. And for me, it's easier to set the boundary that I cannot be somewhere because I don't want to be somewhere and not be authentic. And I think that everyone can tell when I'm somewhere and it's not authentic to me. It's not something that's motivating me. It's not something, and I don't feel that in the work that I do, that is a representation. And I would never want to put that out there. So that stops me from putting myself in situations where maybe someone's going to ask me something super intense, but I don't have that energy to give them the real answer, right? This work is really complex. I need to be on my toes. I need to be able to talk about trauma-informed approach. I need to be able to talk about the political landscape, and I need to be able to also tie it back in. All of that means that I need to be very present every time I'm somewhere. We all know that people look at leaders as knowing everything, and I hate to say it, but we don't know fucking everything, right?
True.
We don't, right? And so
That's why we have to do it together, because if we each know a little bit.
Exactly.
That'd be so boring if we know everything too.
Exactly.
How can we make friends?
Exactly, right?
Yes, right?
But that's the societal pressure, and especially
Yeah,
being an
yeah.
executive director. So
Yeah, the title brings that in and of itself,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
The knower of all things.
exactly.
That's a lot of pressure.
That is, and I'm just like you all, though, that I am not the knower of all things. I'm a good coordinator, I'm a good strategic thinker, and I'm really good at programs, but I need finance help. We won't get into all the help I need.
Oh.
We don't need to talk about that. but like there are these different areas. So to your point, Linda, for me, it's easier knowing that I'm not going to be able to authentically show up because of burnout or because of being tired or because I'm thinking about A, B, or C. To just not be there. And I feel like, to me, that's giving someone a better gift, because when I am there, you all know, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Agree.
I'm present. I'm able to answer the questions.
Girl, when you said yes to this podcast, I was like, oh, I know. She is in. If she says yes,
She will be on time.
she is
too.
in.
Yes, I know.
Because she doesn't say yes to everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're
She
very
doesn't.
intentional.
Yes.
And I so appreciate that. That's actually my challenge for this year is
Yeah.
intentionality. And I keep finding myself slipping back into old habits of just trying to be everywhere and do everything. And I keep having to remind myself, like, for example, this weekend, the only thing I have on my calendar is a massage at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Nice.
And a 20-mile run on Sunday.
Yes.
Okay.
And
yes to the
No,
20-mile run.
do you want to come with me?
The massage, maybe.
Yeah.
She was like, yes
No,
to that.
that's
I was
for
like, are
her.
you running somewhere?
That's big for me,
Yeah,
though.
that's good for her.
And I
though.
literally already was like, what should I be filling up my day?
Yeah.
Like, I got to and I
yeah.
was like,
It's
no,
big for her, yeah.
just, it's okay.
Wait.
That those are the only
I
things
know
on
this
my
is
calendar.
about me, but why do you think that it's hard for you, because you are everywhere all the time and you're so present, why do you think it's hard for you to give yourself that time?
I think
She's
for
stumbling.
me,
She's stumbling. I love that question. She's trying. Good one. Good one.
wait a minute, this
I'm
is
sorry,
not
no,
about
I know
me.
it's about me, but I was just curious.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Quite frankly, I think I just want to live every moment I can. And I feel like sitting and relaxing is wasting a moment that I could be doing something towards a goal that I have.
Yeah.
And I have this, not a fear. I'm really not afraid of death. And Claire and I have talked about this before, but a like, what if in my head, like, what if this is like tomorrow is gone, right? And I have this, like, there's so much I want to do and accomplish that sitting and relaxing does not compute into my brain.
And you know that if you, sorry to look at the camera if you died today, though, you've already, I know you probably already know this, you've already done so much. You've already done so much. You've made that
But
impression.
what else can I do?
You can, but you can also sit in you.
Yes.
Because you're important.
Thank you. Well, I did book a trip to Hawaii with my husband, just the
proud
two
of
of
you.
us.
Yes.
And he has full expectations that I will sit my ass on the beach with a Mai Tai.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So-
No computer.
Here for
No
it.
checking email, please.
In less than a month, my ass will be on the beach with a Mai Tai.
Well, how many days?
5.
Oh,
That's awesome.
okay. Good
No,
job.
6 days, 5 nights.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm proud
so
of you.
Don't go. So if I get any emails or anything, I'm sending.
She
you
already
back
told me I can't take my
flip-flop.
No,
laptop.
she cannot bring her work laptop. What are you kidding me? No.
Well, she's got it on her phone.
No, I don't care. She cannot be looking.
See, Dietra knows.
Listen. I have good boundaries, but I respond to emails. You know.
Yeah.
Oh. This is so funny. Well, you know, when we talk about self-care, right?
Yeah.
So we are like proud mamas of children, of our amazing kids. Like,
Oh my goodness, yeah.
As you watch your son grow into adult and like, how old is he now?
Oh my god! So this is funny you bring this up. My son is 20 and he just started a feminist socialist group. So I don't.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I love him for that.
So you know what's crazy is he
Yeah.
told me originally, he was like, Mom, I don't want to, do what you did. You had a lot of struggle, blah, 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 blah. You've been in social work. Most social work jobs or direct service jobs don't play a lot. So I
Yeah.
never want to do what you do. I'm going to be a finance guy.
Yeah.
You're like, go do that.
I was make mama some money.
Be a finance bro?
Right. So, but now, so he's 20. He turned 20.
Yeah.
And instead, he is trying to get places to unionize, arguing with me about if I even think about ordering Starbucks, volunteers
Oh
at
my
Lake
gosh.
Washington Tech, just very much like,
love that.
and I'd say like the most amazing thing that has happened recently is him thanking me for the experience of being around people with different abilities and different cognition levels, especially. It's made his emotional intelligence for a 20-year-old. He is still 20 and on my nerves, but it is really, that is the most amazing thing I think my work can do for a youth is give them the ability to really meet and see people where they're at and want to change.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard, that to create a new system, you need something else in between it. And he's like thinking of all the ways that, he hates capitalism, but that to me is really amazing to just have that fire within him. And so I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah.
Especially since look at his mama.
Well, no, it's incredible though. Like you don't realize how much they watch and pay attention, right? And then, you and I have the benefit of having 20-year-olds. My son's 22, 20 also.
Don't age those
Don't
extra
age
2
him.
years.
No, he's turning 21 this summer, and I'm already struggling with that. But we have the benefit of seeing the other side, right? Like getting through those really challenging teenage years.
They smell so bad for no reason.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
horrible.
I know my 12
But
year
then
old.
they come out as like real humans and adults, and then they start thanking you for stuff that you've done, and you're like, who are you? Like, are you the same child that said that you hated me like 4 years ago? But they come into their own, and they have watched you for so long be whatever version of you that they see. And my son's starting to do the same thing where he's like, oh, I'm starting to do this soccer training for youth, and it's not about making money. Like everybody keeps telling me I'm undercharging, and he's like, but that's not what it's about for me. It's about getting soccer into these kids' lives. And I was like, when did you become so cool and like so awesome? And even Claire, even our littles, Claire and I had the younger boys on the podcast last year, and the stuff that came out of their mouths about like giving back and community service was really special.
Yeah, I think it's really
Amazing.
cool. Dude, anything you find surprising when you're raising your kid? Like you thought he was going to be somebody, and then he's like, there's like, you surprised like these little things. What are they?
So I was never, I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, I think this is gonna be like, I'm very like individual. Like I had a shaved head at one point and was like very wild.
Oh, I would like to see those pictures.
was wild. You know what I mean? So what I would say is surprising to me is I wasn't expecting him to want to be a disruptor. And that's what he truly wants. It's not even about him learning the systems.
Yeah.
He wants to disrupt. He wants to make sure no one experiences different things. And I wasn't expecting that from him, just because when he always focused on finances, even when he was younger, you know, because we were very poor, you know, just flat out to say it, single mom, whatever. Yeah. So to have him really be focused on disrupting, even to the point where he'll like change his job to get a job that's more in that line, to me is surprising. That is surprising.
Makes me proud.
Now, while we were in Leadership Eastside, he had moved out.
Oh, yes.
Is he still, are you an empty nester still?
I love it. Am I looking?
I don't even ask that she knows it. I love it.
Listen, he's been on his own, and he now lives with his girlfriend that he's had the same girlfriend for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And we have very healthy conversation around what that looks like and what it could look like, whatever. But I love it. I have my 2 cats. I have rabbits. I don't have any mood swings because I'm correcting someone, you know, like my mood is so stable, you know, but I love it. And I love the relationship.
I love it.
It's the truth. Like,
is that what I get to look forward to?
Yeah. You're like, seriously,
stable mood swings.
Yes. Like now it's just like, oh, someone like, you know, like it's so interesting. The difference of like, I think I didn't realize, cause I've always been a caretaker and I've always, you know, even having my son, choosing to have my son younger and also the life that I led, like I dropped out of school to take care of my mom and stuff like I've always that. And what does that look like to not wake up and have to cook someone breakfast or to do these things? So it's been really interesting to kind of learn what it's like to focus the take care on me. When that's such a thing I've done literally my whole entire life.
Yeah.
You know, so a whole entire life. So I love him being gone. I feel happier as far as like I can control my moods.
Yeah. But it's also like a beautiful phase of reinvention, right?
Yeah.
Like who is Dietra?
Yeah.
When she doesn't have to be, I mean, you'll always be mom, but not 24/7, right? Like you know, Claire and I have talked about this on the show before where you just get sucked into everybody's needs, right? And then you kind of forget who you are and what your needs are. And I'm grateful to, you know, see that you get to have that chance to kind of be like, well, what do I need to feel stable, to feel calm in my body, those kinds of things.
It's not telling someone to take the trash out.
No.
We don't have to anymore.
Well, yeah,
except for you got to tell yourself.
Yeah, well, now I call them and I'm like, I got $5. Can you take the trash?
I mean, you have way less trash, I'm pretty sure, though.
I don't know. I feel like it's, you know, I don't want to talk about this. I care about the environment.
Okay,
I'm going to say that.
Yes, we do. We do care about the environment, yes.
Okay. I hate to take us off a fun topic, but we do need to talk about the current political landscape and how all nonprofits are struggling. Particularly social services.
Yes.
So what do you need from the community and what message do you want to share with those who are struggling in their path forward right now?
Right. I want to say this, that when you know someone is operating and using fear tactics and you are reacting versus responding, it's not healthy. We're very aware in this political thing that there's a lot of misdirection and there's a lot of things that are happening. There's also a lot of litigation happening. So what I would love for the community to do is, one, recognize that this is exactly why we need you all. We need that community support. We do not need to be dependent on the government, depending on what's happening. Like it's really apparent. So there's that. And the other thing too is as much as information is going out, there's a lot more information to follow up on. Yeah. So when you see a scary ass executive order, don't call me freaking out. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Take a pause, because there's a lot of litigation and all of that happening. I will say that it is terrifying because, yes, litigation can happen, but that doesn't mean that money isn't stopped right now. So I'm on a board for, I don't want to say too much, but The federal DEI and stopping that, there's places that have been affected and will continue to be affected. And so that again means the community needs to reach out and lift them up, and that means financially, because those are the funds that are stopped.
And it's about getting creative, right?
Yes.
Maybe putting yourself in a boxing ring and trying to raise money.
Can we talk more about that, please?
Because I'm fighting for you. Literally.
She is literally fighting for you.
Mark told me, and I was like, oh, I love that. And I was like, wait, hold on. I'm still recovering from my son moving out all the way. I don't think I should be fighting anymore yet.
And my charge to everybody is...
What is the charge?
To lean in.
Yeah.
And really give to those services that are affected the most in this. We have one of the highest per capita income areas
100%.
and one of the lowest giving.
100%.
So let's change that.
15th.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That's the theme.
Yeah, that's the theme. Yeah. Okay, our fun portion of each show is rapid fire questions that you did not get ahead of time.
Okay.
Oh, yikes.
So,
okay.
You start.
Me start? Okay. Brunch or happy hour?
Brunch.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Tropical,
big drinker.
okay. Tropical vacation with rain or desert vacation with sunshine?
Tropical rain. I swim with sharks.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
Yes.
I always want to do that. I really want
I've
to do
done
that.
it multiple times.
Oh my
my biggest
gosh.
thing is I want to see the great whites, but I've never swam in a cage.
Oh, my
I've
sister
always
did that.
free swam.
Oh, my
the
goodness.
cage freaks me out.
My
but I
sister
free
did the
swam.
cage, and
Yeah.
the pictures terrified
Oh,
me.
really?
Literally,
That's
the jaws of the shark are on the
Oh,
cage.
Yeah,
That's
there's
scary.
a picture of me punching a shark because I had a. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
my
yeah,
gosh.
so tropical.
Oh my god! I love that. Okay.
Ooh, I want to do that.
Oh,
Okay.
here's a question. What would you rather compete in? Boxing match or dance competition?
I want to box the hell out of someone.
Then we should fight.
Maybe you two should buy
I
that.
can't fight you. I can't fight her. I can't.
Why?
No. It has to be.
Really. We're onto something here.
I'm heavier than you. I looked at the camera for
Okay.
that, but like I'm bigger than you.
But she's strong.
okay.
She work out twice a day.
Yeah.
Don't
You don't know how much I work out.
Oh,
Are we healthy competition?
Oh, this is it, girl. This is how. I'm going to call Mark right after this and be
Okay.
like,
No, I told him I was like I could not fight her. I love her, so I would let you beat my ass.
I know she really.
hey, that's even better for me.
Okay, this is a good one. Okay, what's worth on the first date? He shows up in socks and sandals or Hawaiian shorts.
I have to get on a date to even think about this. I haven't been. At this point, I just be like, "Oh, you're here."
Okay, can we drive her? Can we be the DD and
Yes.
see what happens?
Oh my God, we're going to be her parents dropping her off
Yes,
on the
and
first
I can
date.
create an online dating profile too.
Ooh,
Oh my goodness,
that's funny.
Okay.
I guess shorts because
Sandal with shorts?
No, the Hawaiian shorts is worse.
Oh,
yeah, because I don't know what's up with the sand. I'm thinking weird socks and sandals things, but you could make it work. You could have Yeezys on.
True.
See, there you
oh,
go.
Oh,
Shout out to the neighbor.
Yeah, we didn't.
okay.
We did not specify what kind of sandals.
Okay, that one, yes.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. That's too funny.
This is too much fun, really. This is why we knew we needed you on the show. We do end with a quote every episode. So this quote is by Mahatma Gandhi. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And I thought this was very fitting for the theme of today. And a lot of these podcasts I've been listening to on my mandatory 45-minute outdoor time have that theme of when you feel stuck, the best way to get unstuck in your own self is in service of others. And so you must be really free because you are the most service-oriented person and giving person. And we're so grateful to have you in our community, in our whatever she's having tribe. And thank you for being here.
Oh my goodness, thank you both
Thanks for
so
everything you
much. Yeah, and we all know that you both do amazing things and are everywhere all the time.
know
So
what you're talking
I'm happy
about.
to be in good company.
Well, thank you. Okay, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.